captains are meeting at midfield here at Marist Catholic. We are just moments away from kickoff. And we want to welcome in those of you joining us on the video stream. We apologize for the condition of the video stream. It's been a bit of a bumpy ride just trying to get on here. The Wi-Fi is having some issues. The reception is not great, but going to do the best we can to get you a good look at this game tonight. You can always listen to us on the radio, 104.3 and 960 Sports. You can also live stream the radio feed through mybasin.com, 104.3 and 960 Sports. If you just want some clean audio, I'm told that the audio is clean at the very least. But gosh, Kevin, it wouldn't be a Friday the 13th if something didn't go wrong.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, but we'll get through it on this Friday the 13th. This is the first time this Henley group's been here. I was kind of surprised. These teams have seen each other a number of times. The first time we've made the trip from Klamath Falls to the banks of the Willamette River here. Beautiful facility, trees all around. Really nice evening here, so weather won't play a factor. And it'll be Henley's first shot at Marist here in quite a while.
Hornets will kick off. They did win the toss and deferred. So Max Tobiasen, who sent 5 of his 6 kickoffs for touchbacks last week, is going to get things going for Henley here.
Yeah, I watched him in pregame warming up, and he was knocking the kicks through the end zone. We'll see if he does that here to prevent a run back.
Tobiasen runs up, boots it, and this one will be caught right at the goal line and returned. Making a move past the 20 to the 30 and finally shoved out of bounds is Connor Harvey. So Marist Catholic is going to start off. They're going to give him the ball at the 32. So we will see Nick Hudson and the Spartans offense to lead things off here.
Connor Shibley with a nice special teams tackle. Start things off for the Hornets. Marist can throw the football, and they will a lot tonight.
2 receivers on either side with a back behind Hudson. They hand it to him. No, fake the handoff. Hudson's going to keep it himself and pick up a couple.
Hudson's a good athlete. He knows when to tuck the ball and run. That time he did around the near side. Picked up a few. If there's such a thing as elite quarterbacks in 4A, we have 2 tonight. We have a good quarterback matchup. And I think the key is going to be the defensive lines. If you do not pressure these quarterbacks, they will have a night. So you need to really pressure Nick if you're the Hornets.
2 receivers on either side for Hudson with a back to his right. He takes the snap on 2nd and 6. He is under pressure, and he goes down. Looks like that might have been Nolan Sieben, Kevin.
That was Nolan, and that's just what you need to do. You can't give him much time back there. Good rush, good penetration by the whole line. And Sieben comes up with the sack and a 3rd and long now for Marist.
3rd and 8 for the Spartans. This is a rematch of last year's state championship game that Henley won 42-28. Spartans come out, trips left, 1 to the right. Back on the left hip of Hudson. Hudson takes a snap, rolls left, feels pressure again, lets it fly. Open downfield is Bidwell, and that's going to be a touchdown. On 3rd and 8, Nick Hudson finds Aaron Bidwell, and the Spartans take the lead.
And we thought we might see that. They're not afraid to air it out. That was 3rd and long, a definite passing situation. And the receiver just got behind the defense. That means trouble. Quick touchdown for Marist.
Christian Guerrero on to attempt the PAT. They're going to end up going for 2 here, and they won't get it. So it's 6-0 Marist Catholic after the failed PAT. 10:56 left in the first quarter. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. This is Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So throw it here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Nick Hudson finds Aaron Bidwell deep for a touchdown on the third play of the Marist Catholic drive. Spartans lead 6-0 with 10:56 left in the first. That is the 8th time Nick Hudson has connected with Aaron Bidwell for a touchdown this season. Bidwell has all from last year. Guerrero with a pooch kick, and a flag comes in.
Yeah, Bidwell and Hudson, they have a good chemistry, and they're no doubt going to have a big season, both of them. That was a beautiful pass, hit him right in stride. And the Hornets learned the hard way. You just can't let those receivers get behind you because Hudson's got a good enough arm to get that ball down the field.
They call offside on the kickoff. It's against Henley. So now Marist Catholic is going to kick off from their own 45. Bidwell, a 6'5", 190-pound receiver. Tough matchup for any defensive back. He's got Division III offers from Linfield and Pacific, as well as an NAIA offer from Carroll. Guerrero kicks it deep. Shively catches it in the end zone, and that is going to go for a touchback. So on comes Joe Janney, looking to answer the Marist Catholic touchdown. Last time he faced this team, he had himself a night. Was 13 of 20 for 133 yards and 1 touchdown with 1 interception passing, but ran for 180 yards and 4 touchdowns on 19 attempts. Was named Henley Player of the Game in that state championship.
Henley responded well last week after Lakeview scored first. Only took 1 play, I believe. So we'll see how quickly Henley can get on the board. At least try to sustain a drive here.
Janney starts out with 2 receivers on either side. Jeremiah Brunick on his right hip. They run it up the middle and get nothing. I think that's going to be, might be a loss of 1.
Yeah, there's absolutely nowhere to go up the middle on that play.
Two receivers on either side. It was actually Kern on the carry. Now Janney drops back. Janney pressured, evades the sack, still scrambling to his left, lets it fly down the field. It is tipped and broken up. He was looking for Mark Carpenter, but a great job by Janney to evade the sack near the end zone, able to get that ball off.
That was a good effort from Joe. That could have been big trouble, big loss, but he used his wheels to get outside. Rolled to the near side and then threw against his body. A nice throw. Just couldn't quite make the catch out there. Maybe second down and 11. I'm sorry, third down.
Third. 2 on either side. Back on the left hip. Janney back to throw. Janney looking. Gets away from another sack. Scrambling to the right. Janney, he's going to try to run it himself, but they force him out at the 10. Joe Janney We know he can scramble, but that time he just ran out of real estate. Henley's going to have to punt.
Yeah, there's that pressure we were talking about. Marist able to provide some pressure. Jenny did a good job again, able to get away from that pressure, but receivers were covered downfield. Good work by the Marist secondary, and they force a punt here.
It will be Janney to punt, standing at his own end zone. It looks like Aaron Bidwell is right on the 50. It's a good punt. Caught at the 42 and returned. Bidwell to the 50, wrapped up and dragged down.
Good special teams play from the Hornets. Mark Carpenter with a quick tackle after a good punt. A lot of hang time. And Marist will start their second drive near midfield.
Nick Hudson, who threw for a touchdown on the first drive. That was his 11th touchdown pass of the season. Came into this game having thrown for 734 yards with a 64.5% completion rate. First team All-State in 2023. He's got two receivers to his left. They pitch it out, though, to Connor Harvey on the right side, and Harvey is brought down for a loss.
Trapper Kundal did a nice job of staying in his lane on this near side and made the tackle. It was a loss of 5.
I think that's going to be about a 4, they'll call it. So 2nd and 14 for Marist Catholic. They lead 6-0 with 8:48 to go in the first quarter. Ball on the right hash of the 45-yard line. Two receivers on either side. Looks like Bidwell is lined up on the right outside. Hudson, play action, pressured, rolls right, fires a dart, but C.J. Justina unable to reel it in.
That's a good route there by his receiver. Just a little flag route headed toward the sideline. Pass was thrown a little bit behind. Falls incomplete. And here's another 3rd and long. You need to know the down and distance here. You don't want anything completed past that first down line. That secondary will try to do just that. Secondary played pretty well. They've got some good returners back there from last year's team.
Got to know where number 20 is at all times, and he is all alone on the right side as Marist Catholic comes out, trips left. One of the receivers on the left side went early. That looks like it was Justina, and that's going to knock the Spartans back 5 yards.
That will help Henley a little bit. It'll be a 3rd and about 19 now.
Ball placed on the 40. Bidwell alone on the right side. And we have another whistle. What's going on here? I think Matt Green is having a discussion with the ref on the Henley sideline. Seems to be seeking an explanation for something. All right, here we go. 3rd and 19 for Marist Catholic. Hudson back to throw. Over the middle, intercepted. Trapper Kundal with the pick. And Henley takes over near midfield.
That was well played by Henley. Good scheme that time. They only rushed 3 down linemen. They dropped everyone else back in coverage. And Trapper had a good eye on that ball, made the interception. And Henley will take over with good field position.
This Hornets secondary picked off Nick Hudson 4 times in the state championship game. He had come into that game without an interception in the playoffs. Some great game planning from Alex Stork and company. Henley comes out, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Janney with the back on his left hip. Montag comes in motion. The handoff, evading a tackle is Jeremiah Brunick, but they do bring him down for a heavy loss behind the Henley 40.
Dawson Relling there for Marist with a good tackle. And their defense, Marist defense looks very good. They're able to get off the ball in a hurry and get penetration behind that offensive line there from Henley.
Relling in particular is a returning first-team All-State player on both the defensive and offensive lines. Fearsome presence in the trenches. And that's going to be another Marist Catholic offside. That'll help Henley get some of that lost yardage back. It'll make it a 2nd and 12.
Marist with a couple mistakes, a couple of offsides here, helping out the Hornets.
Hornets still trail 6-0, 7:51 to go in the first quarter. It's trips left, one to the right. Looks like Brunick on the left hip of Janney. Janney to pass, looking, lets it fly down the field. Open man, caught! Mark Carpenter to the house! Touchdown, Henley!
Beautiful play. Carpenter got a step beyond his defender, and Janney put it right on the nose. Good throw, long touchdown, and we have got a pair of long touchdowns early on in this game.
Joe Janney saying, hey, Nick, I can throw the deep ball too.
Yeah, that play was very similar to the one that Marist scored on.
Tobiasen on for the PAT. Henley had 2 PATs blocked last week against Lakeview. We'll see what happens here. Good snap, good hold, and kicked into the line. The game remains tied. 6-6 with 7:36 left in the first quarter. Buckle up, folks. This is looking like a good one. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're listening to Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Max Tobiasen getting set to kick off after Henley ties the game at 6 on a touchdown pass from Joe Janney to Mark Carpenter. This one a bit short of a touchback, and it will be returned. This is Harvey, working around the 20. And Harvey gets up close to the 30. Now, we mentioned Joe Janney with the deep ball. That's something he's really been working on during the offseason. You didn't see it much from him last year, but you saw him throw 4 touchdowns last week against Lakeview.
Yeah, when he gets time, he's very accurate. He makes good decisions. That's always been a strength of his. Good decision maker back there.
Marist Catholic comes out with Bidwell and Guerrero out to the right, 2 others out to the left. Guerrero now motions over to the left side, and the first play is a handoff to Jackson Skinner, who gets about 1 yard. 7:20 to go in the first quarter. We're tied at 6 in this state championship rematch. These teams are also both ranked in the top 3 this year so far in the 4A coaches poll.
Ronan Wright in on the tackle that time along with Kundal. We've called Trapper's name a lot early in this game already. He's having a good game. And we called Ronan's name a lot last week.
I should specify the rankings. Marist Catholic is currently number 1 with 8 first-place votes in the 4A coaches poll. Henley is currently number 3 with 2 first-place votes. Empty backfield for Hudson. He takes a snap to the right, has to evade some pressure, rolls left, throws it short. Spinning out of a tackle, but unable to make anything of it is C.J. Justina, and he'll be short of the first down by a few yards.
Henley applied just enough pressure to force him out of the pocket, but he had a receiver wide open down the far side. He just didn't see him. That could have been trouble. So need to keep track of those receivers. They run a lot They have a lot of people out in routes. You got to keep track.
3rd and 2 for the Spartans. Again, for those of you watching on the stream, we apologize for the state of the video. The connection here at Marist Catholic isn't great. Hudson under center, and a flag comes in. Henley sideline applauds. Looks like the Spartans win early, and that'll knock him back. It's a false start, and that'll make it 3rd and 7. Much different situation now from a play calling perspective.
Yeah, that changes things a little bit. Marist isn't afraid to throw on 3rd down, of course, but that'll give Henley a little more room here to stop this play before the 1st down marker.
That earlier touchdown reception by Mark Carpenter was his 3rd of the season. He had 1 last season.
Yeah, I think Mark's in for a big year, both on defense and offense. Good player.
Empty backfield for Hudson. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Hudson back to throw. Lets it fly. Has a man open, but overthrows him. It was intended for Guerrero. Fell incomplete down around the Henley 40. And Marist Catholic's going to bring on the punt team.
Yes, Shively and Montag with good coverage on that play. Ball was thrown about 25 yards down the near sideline here. Good defense on that series from Henley.
It will be Guerrero to punt, and it looks like Bryson Montag is lined up to receive at his own 35. 5:28 left in the 1st quarter. We're tied at 6. Guerrero takes a snap, punts. It's a spinner, and it comes down at the 50. Henley getting away from it, and they're going to watch it roll down to about the 33.
That wasn't the cleanest kick, but it got a really good roll. It turned out to be a pretty nice piece of field position there for Marist.
So back on comes Joe Janney and the Henley offense.
Henley defense, I like how they responded after that long touchdown from Marist. Didn't panic, made a couple adjustments, stayed with their scheme, and they did good work. They picked up a turnover off an interception and then able to force a punt there. So good work from the Henley defense. And that's the offense's turn.
Connor Shively alone on the left side. Janney with Brunick on his left hip. 3 receivers out to the right. Play action. Janney looks left sideline in space. Carpenter makes a man miss. Carpenter! Flag comes in. This is probably going to come back. Carpenter making his way to the end zone. But this is probably going to come back.
Man, that's unfortunate if that comes back. What a good throw and catch. And then Carpenter with a sneaky move to the inside. He freed himself down that sideline. And the officials are going to talk and see what's going on here.
They're huddled up near midfield. That was about where the flag came in.
The penalty may have occurred after the catch, so we'll see where they spot this. Yeah, it's an illegal block, it looks like. So they won't mark it from where the ball, after the ball was caught.
So it is still a short gain for Henley. And a 1st down for the Hornets at about the 38-yard line. 1st and 8. Not a down and distance you see very often. Trips right, 1 to the left. Hand it to Brunick. Brunick tries to run left. He is bottled up. Marist Catholic was there immediately.
Henley usually tries to get their running game going first, and then they kind of take what the defense gives. This might be a different game tonight. We're seeing Janney put the ball in the air a little more frequently. The running game really hasn't produced any yardage here yet for Henley.
2nd and 8 for the Hornets. Trips right, 1 to the left. Janney trying to work the hard count. Now looks to the sideline for the call. Janney back to throw. Under pressure. Escapes up the middle. Janney making men miss. He is wrapped up and brought down past the 40. Janney able to turn this. They're going to spot it at the 42-yard line of Henley, so that'll only be a 3rd and 2 for the Hornets.
He runs so well for a quarterback. I think he changed directions 4 times on that play. Right, left, and he ended up almost picking up the first down. It'll be 3rd down and about 2.
2 receivers on either side. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. Janney again trying to make Marist Catholic jump. Gets the signal in from the sideline. They reset. Janney motions a man over, and they didn't get the snap off in time. That's going to be a delay of game on the Hornets.
They may have called it.
Or, yeah. Looks like Matt Green was able to get the timeout in time. We'll step aside. 3:27 to go in the first quarter. It's a 6-6 game here in this state championship rematch. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. This is Henley football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Third and 2 for Henley on their own 42. Trips left, 1 to the right. Brunick on the left hip of Joe Janney. Fake handoff. Janney up the middle, and does he have enough for the first down? It looks like he does.
Good run there, finding space. Marist had 7 in the box down. Had 7 down linemen that time. They were really looking for that play. First down, well done.
Under 3 minutes to go in the first quarter of a tie ball game. Henley with a fresh set of downs at their own 45. Trips right. Now Shively comes over, motion to the left. Janney back to throw. Janney escapes, rolling right. Janney still looking, just chucks it down to the sideline. Think Montag might have, no, he didn't reel that one in. It would have been out of bounds anyway.
That was a good effort by Bryson to come back to the ball. When Joe has to scramble like that, the receivers will learn. You have to just forget about your routes and then just run to space back towards your quarterback, give him somewhere to throw. That time his receivers kept moving down the field. He really had no options. Montag did come back there at the end, but he was out of bounds.
Brings up 2nd and 10. Looks like Mark Carpenter all alone on the left side as Henley has Trips right. Janney takes the snap, immediately pressured, pass is tipped. He was looking for Carpenter. It was Brunick, excuse me. It was a screen pass. So now it's 3rd and 10.
Yeah, that was one of those screens where you kind of let the line come through. He just didn't quite get the ball high enough. It got tipped and fell incomplete.
Looks like Henley's in the same formation. Now Brunick on the left hip of Janney, though. Carpenter alone on the left side. Janney to throw. Has to scramble. Still scrambling. They can't get him. Janney with room on the right side. Chucks it downfield. It's almost intercepted. That was a dangerous throw by Janney. This is not a guy who's usually reckless with the ball.
Yeah, you don't really mind a throw like that, Matt, on third down, because you're going to probably have to punt anyway. So you make that play. He tried to force it in traffic. But once again, it was similar to that other play. He really had no options. Montag, the only receiver that came back to the football. He tried to hit Bryson in the middle, and it fell incomplete. And Henley's lining up to punt here on 4th and 10.
So now Janney will punt from his own 35. It looks like Aaron Bidwell is back to receive at his own 15. It's a pretty good punt. Bidwell's just going to let it fall, and it's out around the 15.
That was a good punt. One bounce and then out of bounds. That's just what you want. So a good punt and good field position change there from Henley, and good work by Marist that time, getting off the field and giving their offense another shot. We're tied at 6 with 2:20 left to play here in the first quarter.
Marist Catholic starting from their own 23. Bidwell all alone on the right side. Marist Catholic has trips left. Hudson, quick throw out to Guerrero on the left side. He gets past some Henley defenders, and I think that's going to move the chains. Steps out of bounds at the 28-yard line.
And just a little swing pass to that far side of the field. A good block out there by Justina for Marist. And that was able to break him down the line for a first down.
Guerrero's second-team All-State selection at wide receiver last year. He had 8 receptions for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns in the state title game. Dangerous playmaker. Hudson under pressure, keeps, runs up the middle and slides at about the 37.
We talked about Joe Janney being a good decision maker. Nick Hudson also is. He had a receiver open 2 or 3 yards downfield, but he also saw a lane and decided to do the safe thing. He kept the ball and picked up about 8.
2nd and 2 for Marist Catholic. Ball on the Spartans 36. They're taking their time in the huddle here. Bidwell on the far left side. Guerrero in the right slot. It's 2 receivers on either side. Run with Connor Harvey, and he's brought down for a loss of 1.
Nolan Sieben again. Tackle for loss. He's been in there a couple of times. Well done, Nolan. That brings up 3rd down. There's a lot of talent out here, Matt. Both these teams that just have a lot of good players, good experienced players. You don't see that week in and week out like you do here tonight. Really a marquee game here in the state.
Yeah, Marist Catholic brought back 7 starters on each side of the ball. Henley only brought back 4. And as you see, there have been guys that have stepped up for the Hornets. Hudson with an empty backfield, looking deep, and that one's well overthrown. I think he was looking for Cash Andrews, but Andrews fell down.
He did. He got tripped up there at midfield going for that deep ball. I think it was just some incidental contact. I don't think there was any sort of a foul. And here's a 4th down.
Turf Monster might have helped out too.
Yeah, that happens sometimes.
So now on 4th and 3, it looks like the Spartans are going to punt. Guerrero lined up on his own 22. Bryson Montag lined up on his own 30. And we've got a timeout, Henley. 40.2 seconds left in the first quarter of a 6-6 ball game. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Henley football on mybasin.com and listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image. Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Baits suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Baits Marcom Solutions.
Christian Guerrero set to punt. Bryson Montag set to receive. Decent punt by Guerrero. Montag comes up, watches it bounce. Takes a Henley bounce right around the Hornets' 40. .1 seconds left in the first quarter. Henley will start the drive. And playing out a bit like it did in the state championship game. The first quarter in the state championship game actually ended 6-0 in favor of Marist Catholic.
Yeah, we have two good coaching staffs here. Both sides got burned with a long pass, and we've seen some good adjustments. The defenses have been getting off the field since those two scores. So I think we'll see that throughout the game. Kind of a chess match. Good coaching staffs. Now it's Henley's turn with the football.
1st and 10, Hornets on their own 40. Handoff, gets nothing. It's Jeremiah Brunick, and that's going to be a loss. This may be the last play of the first quarter. It sets up 2nd and 13, and it looks like it will be. We are tied at 6 here in this state championship rematch between Henley and Marist Catholic. Second quarter coming up next here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been away forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place and then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
So we'll see what kind of changes they make here.
Trips left, one to the right. They hand it off again. Brunick jumps to the outside, and he is muscled out of bounds at the 38. Going to be a gain of 1.
A good pursuit and good discipline by the entire line there from Marist. Just didn't give any room for him to get downfield. Next to no gain there. It'll be 3rd down and 13.
Trips left, one to the right. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. The lone receiver to the right is Mark Carpenter, who has the Hornets touchdown. Play action. Thrown to Montag on the left side. He's got some room, but he is brought down at the 44. So it looks like Henley's going to send on the punt team.
That was a good gainer, just not quite enough. Jacob Bakke had a nice block on the outside. Couldn't quite spring that play enough for a first down, though. And Henley will probably punt here on 4th.
It will be Janney to punt from his own 33, and Aaron Bidwell back to receive at about his own 19. Pretty good punt from Janney. It comes down and rolls out of bounds around the 20.
Joe does a nice job of aiming those kicks to the sidelines. We're not seeing a lot of returns. He's got good distance, good height, on the punt, and then it falls out of bounds for no run back. So once again, good field position as Marist will start in their own territory.
Nick Hudson, Marist Catholic quarterback. We mentioned he was first team All-State last year. He led 4A with 3,762 passing yards and 47 touchdowns. Both of those marks were good enough for second in the entire state, regardless of classification. Hudson starts under center now. He turns, he hands it off, and that's going to be a short gain for Connor Harvey. Give him about 4. So it'll be 2nd and 6. 10-10 to go in the first half of a 6-6 ball game.
Number of Hornets there in on that tackle. That ball was run right up the middle, and they picked up about 4.
Looks like about the same formation. Hudson under center again. This time he hands it off to Jackson Skinner. And that's another short gain, but gets Marist Catholic pretty close to the first down.
Kaimon tag on the tackle, kind of a shoestring tackle there, tripped up the runner.
Or they'll say that is a first down.
Yeah, that was enough for the first down. Marist changing things up. That's what good teams will do. Seeing some new formations. Kind of running the ball inside here on this possession. Try things until they work. See if it works.
Nine minutes remain in the first half. Marist Catholic with a fresh set of downs, but a flag comes in. Play clock had expired. Spartans have taken their time in the huddle. This time they took a little too long.
Yeah, as the game has progressed, they've slowed the pace down quite a bit. Taking their time back there, trying to execute. Not worried so much about playing up-tempo.
Looks like a 1st and 15 on the brought down. It'll be a gain of about 4. But the defensive line there putting pressure and chasing down Nick Hudson.
That was good work from the line, and then once he got around the line, good work from the linebackers to stay on task over there and push the runner out of bounds. That'll be 2nd down and 10.
Hudson under center. Turns, hands it off. Bouncing it outside is Harvey. And Harvey is pushed out around the 35. And I think a late flag comes in.
It was good pursuit from the Hornets around the edge, but just one of those last-second pushes was a little too late. The runner was already out of bounds. And that's going to cost Henley some yardage here.
7:58 left in the first half of a 6-6 ball game. Personal foul against Henley. That will give Marist Catholic a first down in Hornets territory. We're going to put the ball on the 48-yard line.
It's a tough break for Henley. That's a big penalty. He's got to be careful over there. New set of downs here for Marist.
Hudson under center. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, 2 in the backfield behind him. He turns and hands it off to Connor Harvey, and Harvey picks up about 1.
Jant's call all over that play. Good tackle. Stood the runner straight up and drove him down. Well done. 2nd and long.
They'll mark it 2nd and 8. Marist Catholic on the Henley 46. Spartans taking their time in the huddle yet again.
Yeah, taking their time. They're kind of running the ball here. Haven't seen them air it out like they usually do.
Hudson under center. Fakes the handoff. Rolls left. Lets it go downfield. Unable to make the catch on the left sideline down around the 20-yard line was Bidwell.
That was good coverage, Joe Janney on the coverage. They were chasing each other all over the field. Ball just sailed out of bounds, bringing up a 3rd down.
Yeah, Joe Janney starting both ways this year after he was thrown in at defensive back in the state championship game against Marist Catholic on an emergency basis. He ended up with 2 interceptions, including a pick 6.
Yeah, he's just too effective to leave off the field. Got to get him out there, and he made a good play there.
3rd and 8, Hudson in the shotgun. Back to throw, under pressure. Throws incomplete down the middle, looking for Connor Harvey, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Good pressure from that defensive line, good coverage downfield from Kai Montag. And now we have a 4th down. We may see a decision here with the ball placed about the 46 and 4th down.
Looks like they're keeping the offense out there. This is probably a good spot to go for it. You're around midfield. Defenses look pretty good. Nick Hudson running in from the sideline to deliver the play call, and they go quickly out of the huddle, but we've got a timeout. Marist Catholic wants to talk it over some more. We'll step aside too. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're listening to Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and watching on mybasin.com.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Marist Catholic appears to be going for it on 4th and 8. They've got the ball on the Henley 46. And they come out with Nick Hudson in the shotgun. Jackson Skinner on his left hip. Trips left, one to the right. Hudson back to throw. Hudson looking, going downfield, broken up. Bryson Montag skying in, and he looks a bit shaken up.
Actually better that he dropped it, because I don't know if he dropped it on purpose, but the field position much better. The ball will come back to the line of scrimmage on that 4th down pass. So that was played just right, and Henley will take over.
And Montag looks to be okay. He got up and jogged off. He kind of took a hit when he was in midair. Landed hard. Can't imagine that felt too good.
Yeah. He had to leap for the ball, and he did fall pretty hard to the turf.
So Henley takes over on their own 46. 6:55 to go in the first half. Game still tied at 6. Trips left, one to the right. Janney in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Brunick. Designed run. Janney goes right. Janney has a hole. Janney across midfield. Janney dragged down at the 30, and that is an easy call on the horse collar.
Teams just don't know how quick he is till they see him for that first time in the open field. And that play was made on that fake in the backfield. Janney very good with the football. He made a good fake. He was handing the ball off to Brunick. And the defense kind of went with Brunick for a second, and that gave Janney time to get down this near sideline. The big gain, and they're going to add 15 more to that gain with the horse collar tackle.
That was Joe Thornton, the senior. That may not have been a terrible play from him, all things considered, because he may have saved a touchdown.
I was thinking the same thing. He really had no other option to make that tackle, and he probably would have scored, Matt. I think you're right. So you don't like to see that kind of a tackle, but he really had nowhere else to go.
Henley in business, though. First down at the Marist Catholic 15. 2 receivers on either side. Man comes in motion. Janney looking. Janney scrambles. Janney makes a cut and brought down for a short gain.
I'm just continually impressed with Joe Janney that time. He had a pocket and he had some time. He couldn't find anybody downfield, and he kind of danced around, pulled up into the pocket, bought himself a little more time without scrambling, and then just decided to keep it himself and pick up 2 or 3 yards. Just good decision making. Doesn't always have to be a big play to be a good decision.
2nd and 7 for Henley. Now they're on the Marist Catholic 15. 2 receivers on either side. Handoff up the middle. Brunick working his way down to the 5. I think that, this is going to move the chains. So 1st and goal for Henley. 5:46 to go in the second quarter of a tie ball game.
That was some nifty footwork from Brunick. Probably the best run we've seen from him tonight. Ran that ball right up the middle, through traffic. We have a 1st and goal now for Henley.
2 receivers to the left. 1 to the right. Designed run, direct snap. Out to the right side, touchdown Henley. Joe Janney has 1 passing, now has 1 rushing, and the Hornets have the lead.
We've mentioned this before. Coach Pash, he just has a knack. He knows when to call that run. You kind of forget about Joe, and then he gets 2 big carries on this drive and 1 for the touchdown right there. Plenty of room on the near side. He beats everyone to the end zone. And Henley leads now 12-6, pending the point after.
Tobiasen on to kick. He had his first one blocked, kind of kicked it into the line. Good snap, good hold, kick up, kick good. So it's a 7-point lead for Henley, 13-6 with 5:22 left in the first half. First lead of the game for the Hornets. We'll be right back. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. This is Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston.
Well, those of you watching on the stream just saw the commercial featuring Josh Bidwell. That is the father of Aaron Bidwell. Bidwell back deep to receive the kickoff alongside Connor Harvey. They're switching positions now. Harvey going to the right side, Bidwell to the left as Tobiasen boots it to about the 5. So it will be Harvey on the return. Harvey up the sideline, breaks a tackle. Harvey's still going. Now they get him down at the 30. And Tobiasen doesn't quite have the leg for those touchbacks tonight. He may be a little bit tired. He plays soccer for Henley, so he's doing 2 sports during the fall, and they had a game last night. 3-1 win over Madras.
Yeah, he has the ability to kick it out. We've seen it last week, and we saw it in warm-ups today, but just not able to get him through the back of the end zone in this game tonight.
So now Marist Catholic, for the first time tonight, finds themselves trailing. (13-6) the score with 5:13 to go in the second quarter. Hudson back to throw, looking for options, rolling right, throws. He's got a man at the 20.
That was good patience that time from quarterback Nick Hudson. He had to just kind of wait, check down, look for his receivers, and found someone in the middle. Mark Carpenter with the sure tackle.
They took that kickoff quite a ways back. I didn't see any flags. Maybe they ruled that Harvey stepped out of bounds. Hudson looking to throw again, under pressure, gets out of it, rolls to the left. He's being pursued, and they get him down.
Jason Kern in there for the sack.
Kern had a sack last week against Lakeview. And that's going to knock Marist Catholic back to the 17, where it'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, we were watching the defensive line play tonight on both sides, and Henley's done a really good job. They really applied pressure to quarterback Nick Hudson. That first play, sometimes we saw this a lot last year too. It's hard to gauge the speed sometimes of some of these players. You don't know how quick Janney is or how quick Bidwell is until you see them, and you can adjust accordingly.
On 3rd and 9, a bit of a disarray on the offensive side of the ball, and the Spartans have to take a timeout. We'll keep it here. I have to say, Kevin, this is not quite the game we were expecting so far. A bit of a defensive slugfest.
Yeah, after the first 5 minutes, we thought they'd score 1,000,000 points. They scored right away with long passes, but then it has calmed down a lot. And I think that's a sign of good coaching. It really is. You can identify a problem, and you have the talent on your team to address that problem, and that's what's happening here. The pace has slowed down a little bit. Teams are becoming a little more methodical, trying to execute better, not so much trying to surprise the other team, and that's where we're at right now.
You mentioned Henley containing Nick Hudson well. He had 5 touchdowns passes in both of Marist Catholic's first 2 games this season. He's got one tonight with an interception. He takes it in the shotgun on 3rd and 9. Back to throw, pressured again, lets it go, and out of reach of Christian Guerrero. That is going to bring up 4th down. He was looking for Guerrero along the left sideline. Guerrero had his hand outstretched, but just flew past his fingertips.
Yeah, would have taken a perfect pass to make that completion. And the defensive secondary for Henley did their job.
So now Henley with a great chance to add to their lead before halftime as Connor Shively gets set up back around his own 40 to receive the kick. Guerrero standing inside his own 5. Now Shively moves up to closer to the 50. Low snap. Guerrero's able to get it off, and it's a pretty good kick. Shively misplays it but dives on it.
Good play by Connor just to keep his cool and fall on that. If he had panicked, he might have kicked it downfield, but he was able to get possession, and Henley will start off at midfield, good field position. They've got 3:34 left in the half here to try to do something.
Shively, another one of those guys who's seeing a much bigger role this year with the departures of guys like Luke Bennett, Chris Janney in the wide receiver core and secondary.
Yeah, he's pretty much on the field the whole time. He's a good special teamer, and he plays offense and defense.
So Henley actually starts in Marist Catholic territory on the Spartans 49. 4 receivers out to the left, 1 to the right. Empty backfield for Janney, and somebody flinched. It's going against Henley. False start on the Hornets will put them back on their own 46. We'll see if they keep the same formation. Mark Carpenter was the lone receiver on the right side. Bryson Montag, Jacob Bakke among those on the left. It's a stacked formation there on the left side. Janney, quick throw out to the left for Montag. Montag cuts up the sideline. They bring him down around the 50.
It's a good idea there offensively. They had 4 receivers out to that far side. They just threw to the furthest back receiver and had the other 3 block in front of him. Just kind of a simple idea. He picked up a few yards.
2nd and 11 for the Hornets on their own 49. Another empty backfield for Janney. This time the 4 stacked receivers are on the right side. Janney, another quick throw, bounces off the hands of Shively. He didn't reel it in before he turned upfield.
And that was the same play to this side. And the idea there is if you can just get a good block in front of you, make one person miss, you might get a long gain. And that's what they've tried the last 2 plays. And now they face a 3rd down.
And again, they come out with the same formation. Matt Green determined to keep trying it until it works. 3rd and 12. Janney looking, under pressure, escapes up the middle, spins out of one tackle, but not another one. He's sacked down at the 44. Henley going to have to punt with just over 2.5 minutes to go.
Jackson Skinner with the sack for Marist right there. And that was good defense, put a little too much pressure on Janney. He couldn't make that throw. I see what Henley was doing there. They only had 3 defenders on this near side, so they were going with the 4 receivers, thinking they had numbers, which is a good theory. Joe just didn't have enough time to deliver the ball that time.
Bidwell back at the 15 to receive the punt. Janney going to be kicking from about his own 33. Snap goes over his head. He's just got to dive on it, and Marist Catholic's going to have the ball in the red zone. Disaster for Henley with under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
That's one of those plays that will change the complexion of the game. Henley had an interception earlier that led to their first score. That was one of those moments, and this is one in Marist's favor. They have a great chance to score inside the red zone there after the snap.
Ball spotted at the 18-yard line with 1:59 to go. Henley still holding a 13-6 lead. Hudson under center. Hands it off. Bouncing outside. And forced out at the 10 is Connor Harvey. Clock's still running.
I was going to say, the clock really isn't a factor. They have plenty of time. They have 1:40 left in here in the first half. And the ball at the 11-yard line. So they have plenty of time. And Marist not really in a hurry. They don't need to be.
Under 1:30, 2nd and 2 for Marist Catholic. Hudson back in the shotgun, trips left. Looks, quick throw. Guerrero in space. Great solo tackle there.
That was a great tackle. That's Bryson Montag out there. He was one-on-one, and he made a good open field tackle. Big play.
It's going to go for a loss. Send Marist Catholic back to the 15. 3rd and 6. Under a minute to go. Henley making a late defensive substitution as Marist Catholic comes to the line. 2 receivers on either side for Hudson with Harvey on his left hip. Fakes the handoff. Rolls left. Hudson pressured. Back to the right. They're pursuing him. He cuts inside. He's going to take it himself, but he might be short of the first down.
That was a mad scramble. As soon as that ball was snapped, Hudson went to his left, then his right, found no one to throw to, scrambled down the field, and was stopped about 4 yards short.
They're going to mark the ball at the Henley 12. It'll be a 4th and 6 with 29.7 seconds on the clock. And we've got a timeout called. We will keep it here. You're Marist Catholic, Kevin. What are you doing in this situation? Henley receives the second half kickoff.
Well, if you feel good about your kicking game, you're close enough for a field goal, and that would help in a tight game like this. If you're not sure, you're going to go for it. You're just going to run your best play. What can get you 4 yards? You probably want to keep the ball in the hands of your quarterback, let him maybe run one way or the other, and have the option to keep it or find someone down the field.
They've put a couple seconds back on the clock. 32 seconds left. 4th and 4 for Marist Catholic. trying to tie up this game before halftime. Hudson all alone in the backfield. Trips left, 2 to the right. Hudson back to throw. Looking, feels pressure, lets it go. It is broken up. Turnover on downs. Henley with a huge red zone stand to maintain their lead heading into halftime.
I think that was Connor Shively over there, and he made a great break on the ball. He took a chance. He saw the quarterback looking that way, and he broke right to the receiver and got there before the ball did. Great defensive stop for Henley on a really short field. And they'll get the ball here with just 26 seconds now left in the half, and they keep their lead, 13-6.
This appears to be the kneel down formation, and I think that's the smart play if you're Henley. Or is it? Well, I think Marist Catholic jumped there.
I think they just kneeled. They're just going to run
Henley.
the clock. Yeah.
Gosh, Joe Janney was down so low under center that I couldn't even see him.
He was.
Which shouldn't be easy for a guy who's about 6'3".
What a half. Good half of football.
Henley 13, Marist Catholic 6 in the state championship rematch. We'll take a break. Halftime show when we come back here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and Little League teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars. There are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Henley 13, Marist Catholic 6 here at halftime of the state championship rematch. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. Kevin, I know this was one of the most hotly anticipated games of week 2, maybe in the entire state, but I'm not sure how many people would have expected it to be a defensive battle, given that the state championship game was a 42-28 win for Henley.
Yeah, I thought we'd see scores in the 30s, and we still might, but not in this first half. We had some early scoring, and the game kind of settled down into a defensive battle, and that's where we are right now with Henley leading 13-6 here at halftime.
To call back to the state championship game, it was Henley 21, Marist Catholic 14 at halftime. In that game, it was Joe Janney with a 70-yard touchdown run in the closing seconds. Here, it was Henley with a big stand on 4th down in the red zone to maintain their lead.
They really did play good defense. After that initial play, it was only about a minute into the game when Hudson connected with Bidwell for that long 66-yard touchdown. And since then, Henley's done a great job defensively. Haven't allowed another score, and they really did a good job with that short field to end the half.
One of the big things about this matchup, and one that probably had people wondering just how differently it would play out, both of these teams came into the season with new head coaches. This is the first time since 2008 that both teams from the previous year's 4A championship game brought new head coaches in to enter the season. And wouldn't you know it, one of those teams that year was none other than Marist Catholic. In 2008, it was the great Frank Geske. This year, it's Zach Lowboy. He was the defensive coordinator for the Spartans last season. He now steps into his first head coaching job. On the other side, Henley, of course, as we've discussed on these airwaves, also has a first-time head coach. Matt Green, he was the offensive and defensive line coach for the Hornets for the past 3 years. But one thing that I think makes a difference here, especially in terms of game planning, Henley's head coach from last season, Alex Stork, is still on the staff as an assistant. He's working primarily with the defense. He essentially demoted himself after the season because he wanted a less demanding role that would allow him to be more present with his family after the birth of his first child. And meanwhile, Marist Catholic's previous head coach, Charlie Landgraf, is gone. He took the head coaching job at defending 6A champion Central Catholic. So this is a staff that has already game planned for this Marist Catholic team and for Nick Hudson, who they've held in check really well so far.
Yeah, when you have two good programs like this and make it all the way to the finals, that's because you have a good program. You have a good system in place, you have a good school and good administration. It takes all those tools to get you where you want to be. So these teams may have new coaches, but their programs are still strong. And you speak about Henley, they're in a great situation. Alex Storks, you just can't say enough about his character. And you know, when he was last year's head coach that won the state title, now he's got a defensive role. This is Matt Green's team. He's not, he realizes that. He's not overstepping. He's just running that defense. He's just a super coach. The kids like him. And then offensively, you have Coach Pashy. He's the coordinator, same as last year. So that really does play to Henley's advantage. And they're playing a good team tonight in Marist, and they're giving them all that they can handle, and they even have the lead here at halftime.
13-6, Henley leads about halfway through halftime. We're going to step aside again. When we come back, we are going to see if we can get you some information on the other matchups happening around the basin tonight, as well as look ahead to what the next couple weeks look like for the Hornets. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. This is Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
Henley leads Marist Catholic 13-6 here at halftime. Marist Catholic won their first 2 games on this field. They beat 5A Churchill 33-30 in week 0. Then they hosted Tillamook last week and beat the Cheesemakers 42-13. That was a game that Marist Catholic put the running clock on at halftime. It was see if we can find some scores for any of those matchups. I think, Kevin, you might have had a lead on a Lost River score.
I do have a score at halftime. Lost River is up on Gold Beach, 32-0. That's in a 2A 9-man game.
Lost River having a great couple of first games in their return to 2A and their first time playing 9-man full time. They had a great win. They had a great win in week 0 as well. And we've talked about what makes a great program. You look at what Dennis Dunley is doing over there. He won the last 2 8-player state championships before the entire school got moved back up to 2A. He is one of 2 coaches in Oregon history to win state titles in both 8-player and 11-player football. Lost River won the 2004 2A title playing 11-player.
Yeah, they've got a good start this year. They're strong 2-0. If they can hang on tonight, they've got a big lead.
It was that week 1 matchup. I'm trying to find the score exactly. It was 34-8 over Stanfield at the Duffer Classic, and Stanfield was a team that made the 2A playoffs last season. Really impressive start to the season for the Raiders. You look at Henley, meanwhile, they're embarking on a gauntlet. That week 1 matchup against Lakeview 3A team was essentially a tune-up. After this game, next week, they are at 5A Summit. Summit was a 5A semifinalist last season. Then they're back home against Cascade Christian, who are the back-to-back defending 3A champions.
Yeah, Henley really testing themselves in their 4 games before they play league. So it'll be good to see how this team responds. They have some good opponents coming up. And you can already tell. I just feel like this Henley team's getting better and better with every series. They really have improved. They're starting to settle in. They know exactly where they want kids to be. The schemes are coming to life here. So Henley playing very well, and we'll see if they can hold this lead into the second half.
We're about 3 minutes away from the second half. So we've got one more break to take. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. It's Henley 13, Marist Catholic 6 here on mybasin.com and 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, the retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Marist Catholic just now returning from the locker room. Henley came back out a couple minutes ago, started stretching, so looks like we'll probably have maybe a few more minutes, depending on what the officials decide to do here. You know, one of the things that Marist Catholic head coach Zach Lowboy said heading into this game was, I haven't pressed this as a revenge game, but I know all the kids, as soon as they saw the schedule, I'm sure they circled it.
Yeah, you can't help it. You can't help yourself. You had a chance to win the state title last year, and you came up just a little short. You definitely want to try to get even if you can, even in a Week 3 game. So, yeah, these teams are playing for keeps here. This is serious stuff. The coaches feel the same way.
Is there a point, though, where it can get a little too much in your head?
Oh, I think it's healthy, actually. I think it's incentive. I think it makes you play better in this case. Sometimes you can go overboard, but I don't think that's the situation here. You have enough kids that haven't played that weren't on that team last year, that didn't get to play a lot. So, yeah, I think between both teams, you just have a good sense of competition.
Yeah, you look at the history of these two programs. Henley, that state championship last year was the third in program history. They had previously won it in 1946 and 1982. It was the first time ever that the Hornets had gone 13-0. Little tidbit for you, Kevin. Dan O'Brien, winner of the Olympic gold medal in the decathlon in 1996. Henley's football field is named in part after him. He was on that 82 team. Also, Alex Stork, head coach last year, as we mentioned, his wife's grandfather, Lee Schroeder, was the head coach of the 82 team. Now, Stork himself won an NAIA championship, was a standout linebacker at Southern Oregon on their 2014 title team. So, history of winning in that family for sure.
Yeah. It took a little while to get this last title, but it was definitely well earned. I think here in the second half, I always enjoy seeing the adjustments the coaches make after halftime. And Henley didn't have much luck with a traditional run. They really only had about one good carry from Brunick in that first half. Gianni was able to run the ball pretty well from the quarterback position on a couple design runs and then some scrambles. But Henley's going to have to try to see if they can establish that running game a little better this half. And then I think Marist Catholic is going to need to just try to get that offense going. They just haven't scored since that first early minute, and they just need to try to get past that 6 on the scoreboard.
Speaking of Marist Catholic, let's go into their history a little bit. Last year was their 4th loss in the state championship game since their last title in 2009. They also lost the 2010, 2012, and 2021 title games, plus the 2024A first place game that was not sponsored by the OSAA and is not officially recognized. Spartans do have 5 state championships in program history.
Yeah, they won a lot of 3A titles, if I remember. They were 3A for a while there. And they've just been a good program throughout their history. They'll be there at the end this year. Both these teams I expect to make their way into the playoffs, and then we'll just see what happens then.
Yeah, again, both of these teams ranked in the top 3 in the 4A coaches poll. Marist Catholic number 1, Henley number 3. Spartans with a pooch kick to kick things off, and it's returned to the Henley 40 by Trapper Kundal.
Yeah, Trapper was sure-handed. He's a good player to have as an up back. He handled that kick with no problem. He picked up a handful of yards, and Henley will get pretty good field position to start the second half.
Hornets leading 13-6.
You get the feeling that these teams can strike in a hurry with good quarterbacks and good receivers, so no lead is really safe. So you just want to try to get that ball down the field and score as many times as you can and take your chances.
Joe Janney's going to come out all alone in the backfield. 5 receivers out to the left. Now Connor Shively comes over to the right side. And that's going to be delay of game on the Hornets.
That's a tough break. First play from scrimmage is a delay, but you can see Henley's trying to set something up. They're trying to create a situation where they have numbers on one side or the other. And then Marist, if they don't respond, they'll try to flip the ball over to that side.
1st and 15 for the Hornets on their own 36. Handoff up the middle. And that's going to gain most of that yardage back.
Not a bad run up the middle for Brunick right there. Got a few yards. As we mentioned, they've had a little struggle running the football tonight. It's 2nd down and long.
It's like 2nd and 12 for Henley on their own 39-yard line. Janney with a back on with Brunick on his right hip. He hands it to him. Brunick finds a hole. Brunick into the secondary, and he's brought down close to the 1st down marker.
That run designed a little more to the outside. That might be the place to go. They haven't had much luck inside. That's the first time we saw Jeremiah really accelerate. And he is fast. When he gets a little room out there, he can get yards in a hurry. It's 3rd and short.
Yeah, Dawson Relling, we mentioned the anchor of that Marist Catholic D-line. You want to try to keep those runs away from him. 3rd and 2 for the Hornets. Janney in the shotgun. Again, they hand it off. Brunick tries to bounce left, but is caught and dragged down at the 45.
Good work defensively that time by Logan Cast for Marist.
And it looks like Henley's going to punt here.
They probably don't want to risk it here. The ball near midfield, but it's 4th and about 5.
I don't know if I mentioned earlier, Dawson Relling, another guy from Marist Catholic getting next level looks. He's got Division III offers from Whitworth, Linfield, and Pacific. Janney fumbles the snap on the punt. He's going to have to make something happen here. Able to get the kickoff across midfield. Not an ideal outcome for Henley, but could have been a lot worse.
He was just trying to do the best he could there. The snap wasn't that bad, a little bit low, but Janney just mishandled it and had to take off with the football. Then on a dead run, kicked it. But it was a short kick, probably only a net of about 5 yards. So good field position for Marist on their first possession here in the second half.
They're going to start on their own 48.
Yeah, it was about a 5-yard punt. Could have been a lot worse, though. Could have been for a big loss. Good heads-up play by Janney just to get the ball down the field.
2 receivers on either side for Hudson. He hands it off. Run goes nowhere for Connor Harvey. A flag comes in. This may be a holding call.
That was Trapper Kundal again with the tackle. He's done a great job tonight. Also has himself an interception. But we have a hold.
That's going to help Henley out a bit.
Yeah, I saw the hold. It was against Nolan Sieben. He was causing all kinds of trouble in there, and they had to hold him just to keep him off the tackle. So, well done by Nolan. And that'll bring up first and a long way to go here for Marist.
It's going to move the Spartans back to their own 37, looks like.
That's at least 20 yards away from the first down.
$9:37 to go in the third quarter. Henley with a 13-6 lead as Hudson on play action uncorks one downfield for Guerrero. He's got it, and he is tackled down at the Henley 25.
Arm strength for Hudson just is not a problem. That time he had plenty of time. One of those few times Henley didn't get in there and cause trouble. And he had time, and his receiver got past that furthest defender. He had about 2 steps over there, and that was a long completion.
So Marist Catholic now on the Henley 26. Spartans trying to tie the game here in the third quarter. Trips left, one to the right. Bidwell comes in motion over to the right side. Hudson from the shotgun, he hands it off. The run is stopped after a gain of 3.
That's Ronan Wright with the tackle after a short gain. Yeah, that was a 1st and 21, and they picked up plenty. So, as we mentioned, these teams can gather yards in a hurry. We've had some long passes tonight.
Second and 8 for Marist Catholic. Looks like the same formation. This time Hudson to throw. Lets it go, and it is dropped. CJ Justina unable to reel that one in. That'll bring up third down.
That pass was catchable, but it was only 3 or 4 yards downfield. Wouldn't have been enough for a first down. So Marist will try it again here on 3rd down and 8.
8:43 to go. Marist Catholic on the Henley 24. Can the Hornets make another big defensive stand deep in their own territory? Hudson in the shotgun with 2 on either side. Hudson over the middle, incomplete. He was looking for Bidwell, but just off target.
Maybe a little bit of confusion. Their players are talking about it down there. Maybe it had some routes kind of running into each other. Whatever the case, that brings up 4th down on the incompletion.
And it looks like they're going to go for it.
Yeah, they're too close for a punt, probably too far for a kick. So they're going to go for it here on 4th and 8. One thing about Hudson I really like, he doesn't show any panic. He's very calm back there. Doesn't get too worried about anything going on.
And it looks like we're going to have a timeout. Marist wants to draw something up. We'll take one too. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. It's Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool. On the field. Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah!
Be great.
Participate!
Marist Catholic, after thinking it over, is going to try for the field goal. It's going to be Guerrero to kick. He's kicking from about his own 30-yard line. Good snap, good hold, kick.
Good decision by the coaching staff there for the Spartans. That ball just cleared over the bar, probably made it by about a yard, but it's good enough. They'll get 3.
It's about a, what would that have been, a
41, I'd say.
41-yarder. Pretty good for high school.
Very good. And those 3 points in a game like this, it's a big 3 points.
Makes it a 4-point game. Now Henley 13, Marist Catholic 9, 8:31 left in the third.
Oh my gosh, Carson, you're alive.
We talked about the changes at halftime and what these teams would do. And it seems like Marist has gone back to their passing game a little bit, kind of doing what they do best. And Henley, I think, is trying to run the ball better than they did in the first half, maybe going off tackle a little more, going outside a little bit. We saw that on their first drive. So we'll see if we see more of the same.
Guerrero kicks it. Caught at the 20. Returned by Shively, and a good return up to about the 40.
Good field position again for Henley. They've been able to start pretty much near midfield this whole game. And they'll try it again here on their second possession of this second half.
First and 10, Henley on their own 38-yard line. They lead 13-9 with 8:27 to go in the third quarter. Trips left, one to the right. Janney, quick throw out to Carpenter on the right side, but the ball hit the ground. Jason Kern is the running back in the backfield for Henley on this drive.
That's good play action there. The receiver was open. Just couldn't come up with any yardage. Second down.
Looks like Bryson Montag, Connor Shively, and Kai Montag on the right side for Henley. Carpenter alone on the left. Kern on the left hip of Janney. Second down. Janney throwing, going deep down the middle. He's got Carpenter, and Carpenter's got the catch down at the 15-yard line.
That was just a good old-fashioned post route. Mark went down the field, then just sprinted toward the center. Good timing. Janney had time to get his feet underneath and made a long, perfect throw. He caught him right in stride, and that was a huge gain.
And just like that, the Hornets are in the red zone. First and 10 on the Marist Catholic 18. Looks like the same formation. Janney fakes the handoff, runs right, makes a cut, gets down to about the 10 or maybe the 5 before he's forced out of bounds. I think they will spot him. Yeah, looks like they will spot him right on the 10.
That's a good first down play. Janney looked to hand the ball off, then pulled it back, kept it for himself, and ran toward the near sideline for a good gain.
Trips right, one to the left. Kern on the left hip of Janney. It's a designed run for Janney, and he gets trucked down at the 10-yard line.
That was a good play by Jackson Christian for Marist. There was a hole there, and Janney made his way through that hole, and then it closed fast. And he didn't get very many, only a couple. Let's bring it up third down.
3rd and 4 for the Hornets. It's the Montag brothers and Shively on the right side. Carpenter on the left. Kern on the left hip of Janney. Fake the handoff. Janney in trouble. Janney scrambling. Janney throwing it away. And that will bring up 4th down.
That was a good decision. Janney, he's just too quick. They try to get a sack back there, but he just doesn't give up sacks because he's so quick. And that's one of those situations where he made a good decision. He didn't complete the pass, but he threw the ball out of bounds safely. So Henley will get another shot here on 4th down.
Hornets keeping the offense out there. 7:06 to go. They lead 13-9. 4th and 3 on the Marist Catholic 10-yard line. Trips right, one to the left. Kern on the right hip of Janney. Bryson Montag motions over to the left side. Janney takes the snap, under pressure immediately. Janney throws out of the reach of the receiver in the right corner of the end zone, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. I think that was Shively, the intended target there, or perhaps Kai Montag.
There wasn't much room there. It was pretty good defense by the secondary for Marist. Nobody was really open. Joe just tried to force it in there. Henley might have been close enough for a field goal there, but maybe didn't feel quite confident enough in their kicking game, so they went for it. And that's a good stop by Marist at an opportune time. Henley still leading, though, 13-9. Just over 7 minutes now here to play in the third quarter.
Marist Catholic trailing by 4. They could take the lead on this drive. Got a long way to go, though. About 90 yards to the end zone. Hudson hands it off from his own 10. And it's a short gain, looks like, for Connor Harvey.
Yeah, not much there on the run. Tried to go over the right side. Only picked up a couple. We've seen some good aggressive football tonight. How many long balls have we seen? Just long passes, long touchdowns, and some good defense.
Second and 8. Trips left, one to the right. Hudson from the shotgun. Under pressure. Floats one out to the left side, but it's off the fingertips of Ryan Lemley.
Well, that play was drawn up pretty well. The ball just got away from Hudson a little bit. His receiver couldn't bring it in. And now it's 3rd down and 8. This Henley defense has done an excellent job in these situations tonight. Not giving up a whole lot on these conversions.
Trips left, one to the right. Hudson from the shotgun, rolls left, looks left, throws, it's caught for the first down. And perhaps a little bit more from Cash Andrews.
That's one of those passes where it had to be perfect, and it was perfect. That was a great pass on the sideline, and enough for a first down.
Gets Marist Catholic up to their own 28. 6:14 to go in the third quarter. They trail 13-9.
Henley had that one defended just about as well as you could do it. Just sometimes a good throw and a good route. You can't do much about it. Good offensive play from Marist.
Hudson under center with 2 backs behind him. He turns, and it gets blown up. Jackson Skinner was tackled as soon as the ball was in his hands.
That did not fool anybody on the Henley side. I think that was Nolan Sieben. He's had some big plays behind the line of scrimmage tonight. Big loss there. When you lose 4 yards on a running play, that means you're back there in a hurry. And that was the case there.
So 2nd and 14 now for Marist Catholic from their own 25. This time Hudson in the shotgun with the back on his right hip. Gets it, looks downfield, down the right sideline for Bidwell. It's broken up. Great coverage there by, looks like Montag.
I think that
was that Shively?
That was Shively. And, That's a hard assignment. He's having to look at Bidwell all night, and he's done a pretty good job over there. He's an excellent receiver. And that time Connor got himself, he had to play a little catch-up. He had to hustle back while the ball's in the air, but he made a good play.
Bidwell, again, as we said earlier, is 6'5", 190 pounds. He played in the Les Schwab Bowl at Lewis and Clark College this summer. That's one of the top prospect showcases in Oregon. Son of former Oregon and NFL punter Josh Bidwell.
I believe Josh is on this staff as well.
He is.
He helps coach at. Yep, he helps coach here.
3rd and 14. Trips right, one to the left. Hudson with time, throws it over the middle. It is caught, and that's going to move the chains again. C.J. Justino with the big reception there to keep this drive going.
That was a good route because that was just at the sticks. It was just enough for the first down. That's what you want. When your receivers are out there, you need to get that first down, and he did. It was a good throw. Marist keeps this drive alive. They trail 13-9. Just over 5 minutes now left to play here in this third quarter.
And they get 1st and 10 at their own 39. Hudson under center. Handoff going right, but tackled short of the line of scrimmage was Connor Harvey.
That was excellent pursuit from the left side of the defense. There was a little flip, kind of a sweep. And it looked like he was going to get around the corner, but it just never happened.
Neither team able to get much with the run game tonight.
Yeah, both run defenses have played very well.
.420 left in the third. 2nd and 11 for Marist Catholic.
We've seen a lot of offense tonight, just not a lot of scoring. Defense is playing well when they need to.
2 receivers on either side. Hudson back in the shotgun with Harvey on his right hip. Hudson looking to pass. Doesn't find anything. Escapes up the middle. Hudson slides down just short of midfield. It won't be enough for a first down. About a yard short.
Ronan Wright was in the right spot, forcing Hudson to go down there before picking up the first down. So there's a big third down here. 3rd down and a long one.
The Spartans have already converted 2 third downs on this drive. Can they make it 3 for 3? Last week, Henley gave up a 20-play drive to Lakeview in which they converted 3 4th downs. Hudson back in the shotgun, 2 receivers on either side. Fakes the handoff, runs right. He's got the first down. Just across midfield.
Henley played that well. It was a short gain, but it was enough for the first. But I think that was Cooper Mathis in there on the tackle. And another 3rd down conversion for the Spartans.
They're on the Henley 49. Trips left. Bidwell in the slot. Hudson pressured. They can't get him. He escapes. They get him the second time. He's escaped up the middle, tried to run left, but was met by, I believe, Ronan Wright.
Yeah, and it was Kern there, too. I think Kern was first on the scene. He came from a long way to close that gap and make that tackle.
It's going to end up no gain, so 2nd and 10. 2:20 left in the third. Marist Catholic trailing Henley 13-9 here in the state championship rematch.
Good teams are versatile, and we've seen this tonight from Marist. They've been playing the long ball all night. Now they're kind of doing a more traditional drive here. Shorter passes and some runs.
And play clock expired. That's delay of game on Marist Catholic. That'll make it 2nd and 15.
That's kind of a tough time to get that penalty. You're stringing together some first downs. You get in a nice drive on the Henley side of the field, and you get that little hiccup, making it 2nd and long here. So
losses on the early downs haven't yet bothered the Spartans on this drive, though.
Yeah, they have picked up some 2nd and longs tonight.
2 receivers on either side. Hudson looking to throw, goes right. He's got Guerrero, and Guerrero gets popped. Guerrero still down. And it looks like, well, he gets back up.
Yeah,
also got a Henley player down in the backfield.
Yeah, Henley player's also done. That was a good hard hit from Joe Janney there. It was a legal hit, just hard. And Hudson had time to throw. It's just been proven all night. If he gets time to throw and gets his feet underneath and time to look, he's very dangerous. So you really want to pressure him back there.
Looks like that's Nathan Billy, the sophomore lineman, limping off the field. As a couple of coaches are having to help him off.
4th on 4th if they come up short. So they've got 2 shots here.
2 receivers on either side for Hudson. He's got Harvey behind him. He hands it to Harvey. Harvey breaks right. Harvey brought down short of the marker.
I am so impressed with Henley's pursuit. Those plays look like they're going to get around the corner for big gains, and then all of a sudden, that lane's closed up, and a good tackle. So short gain, now 4th down.
4th and 3. Marist Catholic on the Henley 42. Trips left, 1 to the right. Defense scrambling to get into position. Hudson back to throw. Hudson throws out quick to the left. It is caught. That's going to be a 1st down. Ryan Lemley was all alone at the Henley 35.
That was a well-designed play. Bryson Montag with the tackle, but not until Marist picks up another 1st down. They just sent a lot of receivers down the field and just snuck someone low. Past the sticks. Good for a 1st down. When Marist needs a 1st down, they tend to go to the air. That's what their strength is. And that was a good play right there.
Spartans on the Hornets 33. Hudson back in the shotgun, looking to throw. Pressure coming. He scrambles right. They're pursuing him. He gets past the line of scrimmage, and I think he turns it up on the sideline for a gain of about 5.
Jason Kern over there, forcing Hudson out of bounds after just a short gain. Henley is playing really well laterally. They're staying in their lanes. They're being disciplined. They're not giving up a whole lot around the outside.
This could be the last play of the 3rd quarter. It's 2nd and 9 for Marist Catholic. Hudson back to throw. Hudson looking for the end zone. Guerrero broken up. He had it for a second.
It was a good throw. It was a rainbow, and he dropped it right in the middle of the end zone. I think that was Shively again. Over there getting in the way. Good defense. Knocked that ball away just at the last second. Instead of a touchdown, Marist looking at a 3rd and 9.
2 receivers on either side for Hudson. Hudson rolling to the left. Hudson gets hit and goes down.
Jason Kern coming from his linebacker position to make that tackle. Big loss.
And that is how we end the 3rd quarter. Marist Catholic with a decision to make on the other side. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Henley football on mybasin.com and listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I love to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see two things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the two memories that stick out the most to me.
Jason Kern with a sack on 3rd down. Marist Catholic will start the 4th quarter with a 4th and 16 on the Henley 40-yard line.
They could choose to punt here and try to pin Henley back, but they are on the Henley side of the field. No, they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it.
Looks like 4 receivers to the right for Hudson. Empty backfield. Hudson looking down the sideline. Incomplete. And finally, this drive comes to an end with a turnover on downs. The target was Cash Andrews.
That ball landed just out of bounds. That's Shively again on the coverage. He's playing very well on that corner. And Henley again in these 4th down and long situations went with 3 linemen, dropped everybody else back, and that seemed to work again. Pretty good coverage down there, and Henley gets the football back. The only scoring in that 3rd quarter, Matt, was that field goal, I believe. So that could.
That's correct, Kevin.
That could play. That could play a role in how this game turns out. Only a 4-point lead now for the Hornets.
Henley comes out, trips left, 1 to the right. Looks like Brunick on the left hip of Janney. Janney, screen pass is tipped and falls incomplete.
Janney set that one up just right. He looked to his left and tried to sell it that way, then flipped over to his right. Had a receiver over there, but the ball was tipped. Incomplete.
Trips right, 1 to the left. Janney gets the call in from the sideline after trying to work the hard count. Now drops back to throw. Under pressure. Has to scramble. Going to the left side. Gets the ball away, and a wide open Shively is going to take this across midfield. Connor Shively down to the Marist Catholic 40.
What a play from Henley right there. Janney basically backpedaling, and then at the last minute saw Shively, who did good work to find a hole in the middle to help his quarterback. Just kind of sat in that zone, and they made the completion. That was a nice play.
Henley on the Marist Catholic 39. Tight formation here. Handoff to Brunick. Brunick around the right side. Brunick cuts inside. Brunick with a 1st down and perhaps a little bit more.
As Brunick gets more experience carrying the football here as a varsity player, he's really learning when to turn it on. Turn those jets, accelerate through the hole around the corner, and he did that right there. It's a nice 1st down gain. Henley keeps his drive moving.
And it looks like at a whistle. It's not a timeout.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on.
I think maybe an equipment issue.
It looked like Henley was having some players come in and see what they call here.
1st and 10, Henley on the Marist Catholic 29. Hornets huddling up back at the 40 now.
As they stopped play for a moment there and shuffled some players off the field. I'm not sure if it was the equipment issue or what. But we're going to reset here. It will stay 1st and 10. The ball won't move. It's still spotted at the 28 of Marist. We got some confusion here. I think there's a timeout now. We have the official carrying water out to the. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah. I don't know what this. I'm not sure what this is either.
Is there something with it? Maybe there's an issue with the turf. Looks like they're working on the turf. Maybe that's why they called the stoppage here. Maybe the turf got ripped and they're afraid a player will trip, or I'm not sure what's going on there. And I still don't know why the official's carrying water.
Yeah. I mean, Henley's look like they're getting ready to break the huddle, lining up. I'm not sure what's happening.
They looked at the turf. They kind of kicked it around with their feet, kind of stomped on it, like they're replacing a divot on a golf course. I'm not sure. But now they're just back on the ball. We're going to keep playing. Could have called pass interference there. There was a little pushing before the ball showed up, but no call. That was a good heads-up play by Janney. That snap was at his ankles. But he bent over, picked it up, and completed the play. Almost scored a touchdown. But it's incomplete for 2nd down.
Trips left, 1 to the right. Fake the handoff, quick throw out to the right, and it falls incomplete.
Just a one-step drop and then fire that ball to the sideline. See if you can make something happen. That pass was incomplete as well, and suddenly it's 3rd down.
Trips left, 1 to the right. 3rd and 10 for Janney. Janney has to escape pressure. Janney being chased, gets the ball off, and incomplete along the right sideline.
That ball was completed to Carpenter. He was out of bounds, unfortunately, but what a great pass. Janney on a full sprint, kind of whipped it sidearm down the sideline. Tried to make something out of nothing there. But now 3 straight incompletions. Henley faces a 4th down.
Trips left, 1 to the right. Immediate pressure. Janney scrambling, throws, incomplete on the right side, short of the 1st down anyway.
That play just never had a chance. Jackson Skinner just shot through the line, and he presented an instant threat to Janney. And Marist will get the football back. Just over 10 minutes left to play. We're still at 13-9. Henley leads by a slim 4-point margin. These defenses really surprised us tonight. We knew they had good personnel on both sides of the ball, but they're just playing very well defensively.
1st and 10, Marist Catholic from their own 29. Hudson to throw. He's got Bidwell. Bidwell turns it upfield and is knocked out close to the 50-yard line. Bidwell limping, though, as he gets up and comes back to the huddle. That's not good news if you're Marist Catholic.
Yeah, Bryson Montag made a nice tackle there in the open field. That was a good route that time from Hudson, or Bidwell, I'm sorry. Hudson had a nice throw, almost a timing route.
Bidwell's going to have to come out, and he's replaced by Connor Harvey. That is Nick Hudson's favorite target. Out, at least temporarily. He's got his helmet off. Near midfield, 1st and 10. Hudson under center, turns, hands it to Harvey, and Harvey gets 1 yard at most.
That was Kern in there among some other Hornets. Excellent job defensively that time from Henley. They recognized run, and they brought everybody up. And they stopped that play right where it started. 2nd down and 10. Clock continues to roll here. We're at 9 minutes left in this ball game. Marist taking their time in the huddle.
8:52. 2nd and 10. 2 receivers on either side. Hudson back to throw, under pressure, steps up in the pocket. Ball is tipped and falls incomplete.
That time it was Carpenter with the coverage. Henley's doing very well in their defensive secondary, timing that pass. They're jumping right in front of the receiver just before the ball gets there, breaking up those passes. Well done by Mark that time. It brings up 3rd down. It almost looks like they were taking their time in the huddle to give Bidwell a chance to get back on the field, Matt. I think he's back out there.
He is in the slot on the right side. Ball is, the snap goes past Hudson. Loose ball. He has to fall on it all the way back at the 26.
Just an unfortunate break for Marist. Henley had the same thing happen in the first half. Just an unfortunate snap, big loss, and that will just kill a drive. That's just a tough break in a game like this. And Marist now, they'll be in punt formation.
And they're going to have to punt from fairly deep in their own territory. Guerrero going to punt from about the 14. Montag lined up at his own 40 to receive it. Guerrero gets the kick away, and it's a good one. Montag catches it, makes a man miss at the 30, but is eventually brought down after running to the right. So 7:47 left in the 4th quarter. Henley gets the ball back up 4.
That was a good play by Bryson Montag just to catch that punt. That's one of those situations where if you let it go, that ball could roll clear down inside the 10-yard line. And he had pressure. He had traffic there to make that catch, but he did make the grab. And Henley's better off for it. I think Henley has the feeling they need to score again. I don't think any of us think this score is going to end 13-9. I think Henley's going to be aggressive here.
Two receivers on either side. Brunick on the right hip of Janney. Play action. Janney under pressure, scrambles left. Janney runs out of bounds. And that is going to be no gain.
That was a weird play, Matt. Did you see the end of that play? He looked like he tried to flip the ball forward, and he was beyond the line of scrimmage. So if he did that while in bounds, it would have been an illegal pass. And the Marist sideline was kind of jumping up and down wanting that call. But I think he was out of bounds first. So there's no call and no gain.
So 2nd and 10, Henley from their own 33. Quick throw out to the left side. Carpenter makes a man miss. And Mark Carpenter is wrestled down past the 40-yard line.
Luis Venegas out there with a good block.
That's going to be a first down.
Yeah, he pulled over there, made a good block, and allowed Carpenter to get that first down. That was a well-drawn-up play. Marist was coming on a blitz. So once Janney got that ball over the top, there was enough room there to get the first down.
Trips right, one to the left. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. Janney designed run. Gets caught up and driven down back around the 40.
Yeah, they were ready that time for Janney. Jackson Christian made a good tackle. Got another tackle for loss. We've had a lot of those tonight.
That'll make, well, they spot the ball at the 42. So that'll make it 2nd and 12 with just under 6:40 remaining.
These defenses have done a nice job of reading plays, and they knew where that one was going, and they'll try it again.
2 on either side. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. Janney back to throw. Janney looking deep. Open, but over the outstretched hands of Kai Montag. Just a little off target there.
That was a great route. He kind of did a little stop and go. He stopped like he was going to come back to his quarterback, then just jetted down the field. He was open, just overthrown just a bit.
So now 3rd and 12. Henley on their own 42.
Clock approaching 6 minutes now. Still a lot of football left.
Trips right, one to the left. Jason Kern on the right hip of Janney, and we've got a timeout. Big play coming up. They've all felt pretty big this half. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. You're watching Henley football on mybasin.com and listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Third and 12 for Henley on their own 42-yard line. They lead 13-9 with 6:17 left in the game. Trips right, one to the left. Kern on the right hip of Janney. Janney pressured, throws an interception. It's a big man interception.
That's Jackson Christian again. He's had a terrific game and a great third quarter and fourth quarter.
And he returns it to the red zone. Janney was trying to throw it, I think it might have been Shively on the left side, but Christian was there. And he rumbles his way all the way down to the Henley 10. Potentially disastrous turn of events here for the Hornets.
Well, Henley saw that Marist was going to send everyone. They rushed all they had. They put about, I think they had 6 in the box that time. And the idea was to just flip it over that rush. Little swing pass to the near side. But Jackson Christian saw it coming and just stepped right in front of that football and ends up with the interception and a nice run back as well. Good run back all the way inside the red zone. So that gives Marist a good spot to add to their 9 points.
So they're going to spot the ball. Looks like on the 13-yard line. So the Henley defense is going to be called on once again to make a big stand in the red zone. Hornets holding a 4-point lead with 6:06 left in this game. They haven't trailed since the first quarter. Hudson under center. Handoff going right. cutting inside for the touchdown is Connor Harvey. Marist Catholic takes the lead for the first time since the early stages of the first quarter. Spartans 15, Hornets 13. PAT pending.
Marist just ran a tighter formation that time. They were going run all the way. And he had room off tackle to that right side for the touchdown.
PAT is up and good for Guerrero. So it's a 3-point lead for Marist Catholic with 6:02 remaining. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. It's Henley football on mybasin.com and 104.3 and 960 Sports.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Christian Guerrero getting set to kick it back to Henley as Marist Catholic has taken a 16-3 lead with 6:02 remaining in this game.
Marist capitalizes on a turnover. Henley did the same in the first half. It's just been an even game.
That one is going to go for a touchback. So Joe Janney threw an interception on the last drive to set up that go-ahead touchdown. Can he get it back?
Matt, if you try to sum up this game, what we've seen so far, it's just been pretty even. I mean, both teams have thrown long touchdowns. They've had good defensive stands. They each have a turnover that led to a score. The only difference is that field goal in the third quarter. And that's where we stand right now with Marist and a 3-point lead. Plenty of time for the Hornets, though, to drive down and score right here.
Two receivers on either side. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. Hornets starting from their own 20, 1st and 10. Janney back to throw. Janney under pressure. Janney able to escape one tackle, but not another. He's brought down around the 10-yard line.
And there's Dawson Relling again. Big players having big moments. We talked about them all night on both sides. And Dawson with a big sack right there.
He was another guy who played in the Les Schwab Bowl over the summer. Division III recruit. He only had 3 tackles in the state championship game. He's certainly made his presence felt here at 2nd and 18. Janney, quick throw out to the right side. This could be a gain close to the original line.
That was a good gain out there. They had a long way to go, but they got about 6 back, I guess, maybe. Third down and long. Big play here for Henley.
Trips left, one to the right. Janney, designed run around the right side. And that is going to be a first down.
What a play. How much confidence do you have in your running game with your quarterback on a 3rd and 13? You got 4.5 minutes to play, and you pick it up. Wow. The drive continues. Janney's just an excellent runner. We've just seen it time and time again.
Gets Henley up to the 31. Trips left, one to the right. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. 4:15 remaining. Janney hands it to Brunick. Brunick goes up the middle and gets taken down after a yard.
Henley just hasn't seen much success up the middle today. Gave another shot there. Picked up a couple.
Under 4 to go now. 2nd and 8 for the Hornets. And what do we have here? Substitution, maybe an equipment issue. I'm not sure. Referee stopped the play.
We got the water again. See, they're spraying the water on the field there. It's the second time they've done that. I'm not sure. You know, it is artificial turf, Matt. Nothing will grow if you water it.
Looks like we're ready to get back underway. Clock running, 3:40 to go. Janney takes the snap, looks left, unloads, looking for Montag. Montag had C.J. Justina all in his face, unable to make the catch.
We've seen those two dueling it out this whole game. That was a long pass, had a lot of air under it. And Justina was there to break it up. That was almost a 50-50 ball, had a lot of air.
.332 to go. Henley with a 3rd and 8. Hornets on their own 34. Janney under pressure, throws down the right side to the middle. It is caught. Mark Carpenter with a big catch to get the Hornets into Spartans territory.
That play worked earlier in the game. That's that post route. Mark just drives upfield, then just sprints to the center, in between that defense. And Janney puts it right on the numbers. Another big gain.
That puts Henley on the Marist Catholic 41. Trips left, one to the right. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. Designed run for Janney. To the left, he cuts inside, takes a hit, and is down at the 40.
Henley gets a yard. And we're looking at 2:40 with the clock still moving. 2nd down and 9.
2nd and 9, Henley on the Marist Catholic 40 with trips right, one to the left. Brunick on the left hip of Janney. They hand it to Brunick. He plunges up the middle and gets nothing. Ball pops out, but the referee says he was down.
Jackson Christian again. The middle of that Marist defense just a wall tonight. And now Henley faced with a 3rd down.
2 minutes remaining. Trips right. Janney feels the pressure. Lets it go. Oh my goodness! Connor Shively, one-handed touchdown.
That was unbelievable. That ball it looked to be overthrown, and Connor caught that with one hand on a dead run, a one-handed catch for the go-ahead touchdown under 2 minutes. That was as good a play as you'll see this year.
Connor Shively did not play in the state championship game. And he just gave Henley the lead in the rematch with 1:50 remaining.
He has really become a breakout player tonight, having to play defense on that corner. He's played really well defensively and made some nice plays offensively. What a catch that was.
What's going on here? They have not put the touchdown on the board yet. And okay, now the referee signals for touchdown. And it looks like we have an unsportsmanlike penalty called against Henley.
I didn't necessarily see what was. There might have been excessive celebration, something of that nature, Matt. I didn't see it. but Henley was pretty excited about what had happened, as we all were. I'm not sure what the call was, but that could be costly here, because they're moving the ball back for the extra point. So
it's going to be a long one for Max Tobiasen.
Yeah. This will give you a 4-point lead.
Good snap, good hold, kick is up, and it is wide left. So Marist Catholic, with 1:50 to go, could tie this with a field goal.
Yeah, that was a big penalty there, because if you get that extra point, a field goal won't tie the game. Now it will. Marist has 1:50 to try to produce some points of some kind here and stay in this game.
Now, Marist Catholic is no stranger to late game drives this season. In that week 0 game against Churchill, they took the lead with about 15 seconds left when Hudson found, who else? Aaron Bidwell.
Yeah, this is going to be a great finish. What a game tonight. We've just seen a little bit of everything. Defenses came to play. Offenses have given us a lot to look at. Really, really fun passing games. And we've got just under 2 minutes here to see how this turns out.
Tobiasen getting set to kick it deep. Henley 19, Marist Catholic 16, 1:50 to go. It's caught in the end zone and returned out. Finding a hole is Harvey, and Harvey is run out near midfield.
That was Max Tobiasen on the tackle, pushing him out. It's nice to have a kicker that can get over there and make that kind of a play. Otherwise, he might have gone the whole way back.
Marist Catholic on their own 49-yard line with 1:42 remaining.
Now, they've kicked one field goal tonight. It was a 41-yarder. So we'll see if they can just march the ball down for a field goal or a go-ahead touchdown here.
Guerrero on the right side. Hudson back to throw. Hudson with time. Scrambles right. Hudson pushed out of bounds. And I think they got him a bit behind the line or right at the line. Yeah.
Luis Venegas. Good pursuit. Good tackle. Pushed him out of bounds.
2-yard loss. That'll bring up 2nd and 12, 1:34 remaining. Marist Catholic back to their own 47.
Smart play to get out of bounds. That stops the clock. Gives Marist a little more time.
Hudson looking, rolls right, being chased and wrapped up and dragged out of bounds. That's Luis Venegas again.
Yeah, that was almost the same play, and he was in the right spot again. 2 big tackles late.
Now
Luis.
Now a 3rd and 11. 1:27 to go. Marist Catholic on their own 48.
That Henley defensive line's been playing great all night, and they've been able to flush Hudson out of that pocket and force him to do what he doesn't really want to do. He's having to scramble and then keep the ball.
Trips left. Guerrero by himself on the right. Hudson throwing over the middle, caught, and that will be a first down. It's Bidwell. Seems healthy.
Joe Janney on the coverage, just enough for a first down.
Clock running. 1:16 remaining. Hudson back to throw. We're going to keep it here. 1:04 remaining. Marist Catholic with a 2nd and 1 on the Henley 31.
On that last first down play for Marist, good receivers, and we see them on both sides here tonight. Good receivers know how to run routes to get first downs. And Bidwell did that. He just got right to where he needed to get. And then that moved the sticks for Marist, and that puts them where they are right now. Henley defense, they're bending, but they're trying not to break. They can just hold here for 1 minute and win this game.
Two receivers on either side. Now motion over to Tripp's right. Hudson looking to throw. Goes up the middle, gets hit, but moves the chains. Under a minute to go. Marist Catholic with a 1st and 10 at the Henley 30.
The clock will stop until the ball is set and the chains are moved. Then it'll start again.
Guerrero and Bidwell out to the right side. And
yeah, Henley had a personnel issue over there. They didn't know who they wanted to get in there, so they called a timeout. So Henley uses one.
We'll take 1-2. Don't go anywhere. We are in for a thrilling finish. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. This is Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Thanks to Les Schwab tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's start here.
During the Les Schwab Founders Celebration Sale, save up to $150 instantly on select sets of 4 tires. Les Schwab tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
.57 seconds to go. Hudson looking deep for Guerrero. He drops the touchdown. Christian Guerrero had a step on his defensive back.
Yeah, Shively was over there on the coverage, and he did. He created some room at the last second down there, and it was a good throw in the front corner of the end zone. Would have been a touchdown, and it falls incomplete. 2nd down.
47 seconds remaining. 2nd and 10 for Marist Catholic on the Henley 30. Spartans trying to avenge their loss to the Hornets in last year's state championship game. Hudson to throw again. Hudson looking over the middle. Broken up. Bryson Montag.
We've seen that a number of times. Good timing from those defensive backs. That pass was on the mark, but the Henley defender gets in the way at the last second. Good defense. That's 3rd down.
3rd and 10. Spartans still on the Henley 30. 43 seconds to go. Hudson takes the snap, rolls right, looks to the sideline. Guerrero makes the catch, and that's a 1st down.
He goes back to Guerrero, who makes the grab, and that is enough for a 1st down.
35.9 seconds on the clock, and it's running.
Both teams have 1 timeout remaining.
Marist Catholic on the Henley 19. Hudson throwing left side, tackled immediately there was C.J. Justina. And with 23.2 seconds on the clock, Marist Catholic looks like is going to call a timeout as they advance the ball. Well, they're putting 25 on the clock. Marist Catholic advancing the ball to about the Henley 15.
They had to use their timeout there because of a great tackle. Henley keeping those receivers in front of them, and you can give up the catch as long as quickly and inbounds, and that's what they did there. So They did what they needed to do. That should be Marist's final timeout. But they'll have plenty of opportunities here. They're going to throw. So they're going to throw this game out with their remaining plays. And with 25 seconds, they could probably get at least 4 more plays. It's second down.
Second and 6. Trips right. Hudson takes the snap. Rolls right. Looks right. Throws right. Bounces off the hands of Guerrero.
Shively over there with good coverage. I'm not even sure if that pass would have been inbounds. It was right there on the sidelines. Clock stops with 19 seconds.
19.4 to be exact. Marist Catholic still on the Henley 15. They trail by 3. It's a 3rd and 6.
They are in field goal range, I think. Yeah, sure they are. So, interesting decisions to be made here in these next 19 seconds.
Two receivers on either side for Hudson. Takes the snap. Looks over the middle. Caught, but short of the goal line. Ball may have popped out. No, they call it incomplete. The ball came out before the catch was complete, and now on 4th down, it looks like Marist Catholic is going to get set for the field goal.
That receiver was open right in the middle of the field at about the 2-yard line. It looked like he made the grab, but he was kind of juggling the football, and then it popped out. And so they called that an incomplete pass.
Henley calls timeout. 14.3 seconds to go. 4th and 6. If Marist Catholic can knock a field goal through, we're most likely going to overtime. And what better way to end this state championship rematch?
It's just been an even matchup of two very good teams, great players, terrific coaches, and it's come down to this. If it is a field goal, it looks like it'll be about a 31. Now, they made a 41 earlier in the game, so their kicking game's good enough. And this would tie the score.
It's Guerrero. So this is about a 32-yarder, excuse me. Guerrero's kick is up, and it is wide right. Henley's going to win it. Wow.
What a wild finish. That kick was definitely far enough, had enough leg, just a little right, and it brushed by the upright. And Henley is going to escape with a win. What a terrific game, Matt.
What a fantastic game. So many twists and turns in this one. Maybe the score not what you would have expected, but the thrills every bit what you would have expected.
This crowd's worn out. I mean, both sides. It could have gone either way. It was really an exciting game.
Henley is going to take a knee, and they will win this state championship rematch. They improved to 5-0 all-time against Marist Catholic.
I have a feeling these teams will see each other again.
That's very likely, Kevin. I mean, as we said, these were the top two teams. These were two of the top 3 teams in the coaches' poll this week.
Well, this is one of those games where, someone's got to win. But, boy, both teams played very well. And you just saw a lot of good football. And that's a real promise for Henley. Henley's really, really looked good with its tough opponent on the road in week 2. Just a great win for the program.
Massive, massive win for the Hornets, but not much time to celebrate. They've got to turn around and get ready for another powerful team next week at Summit. We'll discuss that and recap this sensational game after we take a break here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Threads. There are many threads that run through our region. There are churches and schools and little league teams that bring us together and bind us into communities. There are roads and cars, there are houses and jobs and businesses, all woven together to make the fabric of our communities. There are financial threads that are part of that tapestry as well. For over 80 years, it's been our pleasure to be headquartered here, providing financial services to generations of our friends and neighbors. From that first savings account, to retirement planning, and all of the cars and houses and groceries in between, we keep your money local, investing it back into our communities, adding more threads to the fabric to make our communities stronger. Pacific Crest Federal Credit Union. Find your path.
Not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate. Not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Henley 19, Marist Catholic 16, your final here in Eugene. Spartans missed a game-tying field goal with about 14 seconds remaining. Henley hanging on to win the state championship rematch. Kevin, I mean,
it's an incredible game. You talk about the players who have grown in just these 2 or 3 weeks, but how about the coaches? That was Matt Green's second game as a coach, and Zach Lavoie's third. And there was a lot of decisions to be made, a lot of strategy going on. Just a good football game, and saw a lot of great players on both sides of the ball for both teams. But I watched a lot of football. Matt, I was sure that pass was overthrown to Shively. I don't know how he did it. He lunged, and he just put a burst of speed on, and he stuck one hand out there. If you get a chance to see it on the stream, just a one-handed grab on the dead run. That was just a crazy catch at any level. I mean, that was an amazing catch, and that turned out to be the go-ahead winning touchdown for Henley. What a game.
Just incredible stuff all around both of these teams. This turned out to be a highly defensive battle, not what we were expecting.
Yeah, we knew it'd be close, but I think we all thought it'd be a higher scoring game. Defenses really came to play. That kind of tells me a little bit that these coaches knew what they're doing. They're looking at film. They know how to scheme, and both teams have excellent quarterbacks, and they did what they needed to do. They drew up some different pressures, try to get to their quarterback, make him uncomfortable, and then we saw some throws that we don't normally see, and we also saw when they had time, both quarterbacks made nice, long, beautiful throws for big gains and for touchdowns. So we saw a little bit of everything. There was a lot going on there from a coaching standpoint, and you can do that when you have good players. You can draw anything up. We saw a lot of changes, a lot of momentum switches during that game, and for the most part, just an even football game. Henley ended up winning. That missed field goal went just right, and Henley goes home. It'll be a fun bus ride back to Klamath Falls.
I think you've got a bit of a scoring recap for us, so let's have it.
Sure, let's look at the game started. The flurry of scoring, a 66-yard touchdown pass to Bidwell for Marist. That was just 1 minute into the ball game. That's 6-0 Marist. And then Henley returned the favor with a 57-yard touchdown pass to Mark Carpenter. 7:36 left to go in the first quarter, score tied at 6. And then Janney had a short touchdown run in the second quarter just before halftime, and Henley led 13-6 going into the break. Third quarter, we just had one score. It was a defensive battle, but Marist managed a field goal, and they cut the gap to 4 with 8:31 left to go in the third quarter, 13-9. Henley still led, but by 4. Then Marist took the lead on a Harvey 12-yard touchdown run. Marist led 16-13, that 3-point lead. And then at the end of the game, Shively with that amazing 40-yard touchdown pass from Janney with 1:50 left to play in the fourth quarter. Henley took a 3-point lead, 19-16. Marist drove the ball down at the end of the game and missed a 32-yard field goal attempt. That's how the game ended, 19-16. Janney, one touchdown run, and he did throw for 2 more.
We will take one more break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at what's next for Henley. Don't go away just yet. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. This is Henley Football on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 120,000 participants here in Oregon who take part in high school sports or activities.
Sports was kind of what defined me as a person. I loved to play every sport I could possibly play. The Abbeys was really the family stomping ground for all of our community. Saturday afternoon, soccer tournaments, we'd head over to Abbeys afterwards. And then when we got up into middle school, on our way home, we'd stop at Abbeys after basketball games. When I go home, I want to see 2 things when I drive through Winston. I want to see my Abbeys, and I want to see my high school. And those are the 2 memories that stick out the most to me.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Not corporate. At Clown Falls Subaru, we built our business on that simple promise. Well, that and some of the best people you're ever going to meet. Hi, I'm Rob Cedar, General Manager at Clown Falls Subaru. Our 62 employees make it easy for us to live up to our comfortable, not corporate philosophy. Friendly faces, easy answers, straight talk, fairness, and exceptional service. These are the things you expect. These are the things that all of our people deliver. Our management team, sales pros, certified service and body shop techs, lot attendants, and detail experts are all 100% focused on you. Local people putting their friends and neighbors first. At Clown Falls Subaru, that's the only way we do business. It's comfortable, not corporate. Our team members also spend hundreds of hours each year supporting local charities and events through the Subaru Love Promise. That's the kind of people they are. We're very proud of them. They're your friends, they're your neighbors, they're glad to know you, and they want you to be glad to know them too. I'm Rob, and this is what makes us comfortable, not corporate.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the stage.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great.
Participate.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Henley wins their state championship rematch with Marist Catholic. They improved to 2-0 on the season, and they are halfway through a real gauntlet of a non-league schedule. Next, they'll turn their attention to Summit. Next, that game is at 7 o'clock next week in Bend. The Storm were a 5A semifinalist last year, but they lost their first two games. We're not sure what happened in their game tonight against Wilsonville, but a chance for Henley to make a serious statement if they can go up and beat a 5A team.
Yeah, well, they made one tonight, too. I mean, you know, the coaches are very happy, and I don't want to get in the weeds too much, but when it comes to RPI and rankings, you know, beating probably one of the best 1 or 2 4A teams in the state tonight is going to help them a long way in the rankings come playoff time. Next week, we'll see a 5A team, and the week after that, a 3A team. So this win tonight was huge. Of the three, this is kind of the one you want, and Henley came through tonight. So coaches are going to be very happy with their performances. And then leading into next week, anytime you play a 5A school, they have a lot bigger school, a lot more talent out there. So it'll definitely be a challenge as Henley goes and plays in Bend, again on the road, next week.
Yeah, we will be there for that matchup here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. If you want to tune in to our radio show Wednesday night at 6, Ballin' in the Basin, we're also going to have a little preview of that game for you. But 7 o'clock next week at Summit, Henley trying to knock off a 5A team. Matt Bowling here alongside Kevin Petrick. One more time, your final here from Marist Catholic. Henley 19, Marist Catholic 16. We appreciate you watching and listening tonight, and we will see you next week.